You are lying next to someone you cannot stand anymore. You have heard them chew the same way for 3 years. You have had the same argument about the same nothing 40 times. And right now, in this exact moment, you are mentally calculating what it would cost to leave. The lawyer, the apartment, the custody schedule, the group chat that has to be told. For 99% of human history, none of that existed. So if you have ever wondered, how did ancient humans handle divorce? The answer is going to make you feel deeply, personally attacked because they did it better than you, faster than you, and with way less paperwork. Stay with me, because the way they split up explains something genuinely strange about your own love life that you have never once thought about. Let us start with the thing nobody tells you. For most of the time humans have existed, there was no wedding. There was no certificate. There was no signing of anything. Among the Hadza of Tanzania, who live as hunter-gatherers in a way that gives us our best window into ancient human life, a couple becomes married by simply sleeping at the same fire for a while. That is it. That is the whole ceremony. You sleep next to someone enough times and the camp goes, oh, those two, they are a thing now. And here is the part that should make you put your phone down. If that is how you get married, then divorce is just as simple. You stop sleeping at that fire. You go sleep at a different fire. Done. Congratulations, you are divorced. No judge, no mediator, no splitting the air fryer. You think that sounds primitive. It is not. It is what you call a breakup. You did the exact same thing in your 20s. You stopped showing up. You started leaving your toothbrush at your own place again. You just did not have a campfire. You had a shared Netflix password, and unsubscribing from it was the most painful divorce of your young life. But here is where it gets genuinely strange. And this is the part you need to stay for, because it explains why your last relationship ended right when it did. Anthropologists have a name for what ancient humans practiced. It is called serial monogamy. One partner at a time, but not the same partner forever. Most Hadza men and women, when researchers actually counted, changed spouses every few years and married several times across their lives. This was not the exception. This was the normal, expected shape of a human life. Fall in love, build something, drift apart, find someone new. Sound familiar? It should. It is your entire dating history. You did not invent the situationship. Your ancestors were running them in 50,000 BC, except theirs came with better cardio. Now, why did this happen? Why were ancient humans so weirdly good at parting ways? And this is where one researcher found something that nobody expected. In the late 1980s, an anthropologist named Helen Fisher got curious and pulled divorce records from 58 different societies all over the planet, going back decades. She was looking for the famous 7-year itch. She did not find it. What she found instead was that across country after country, decade after decade, divorces did not peak at 7 years. They peaked at 4. 4 years, over and over, in completely different cultures that had nothing to do with each other. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern hiding in the human animal. And then she figured out why, and it is so simple, it is almost rude. In hunter-gatherer societies, mothers breastfeed constantly, eat lean, move all day, and as a result, they naturally space their children about 4 years apart. 4 years is roughly how long it takes to get one child through the most helpless, most dangerous stretch of early life. So the theory goes like this. Maybe human pair bonds did not evolve to last forever. Maybe they evolved to last exactly long enough to get one kid through infancy as a team, and then quietly expire. A relationship with a built-in warranty. You would think love is supposed to be eternal. Every instinct, every song, every wedding toast says so. But the data is whispering that we might be wired to bond hard, raise a baby, and then start feeling that restless itch right on schedule. That is somehow both fascinating and the most unromantic sentence ever spoken. We will get to the part that explains why losing the relationship hurt your wallet and not just your heart. But first, you have to understand the one thing that changed everything. Because ancient divorce was easy for a reason that has nothing to do with feelings. It was easy because nobody owned anything. When everything you possess fits on your back, and you can carry it yourself, splitting up is effortless. You take your stuff, she takes her stuff. You walk in opposite directions, and the entire band has already moved on by dinner. There is no house to fight over. There is no joint account. There is nothing to divide because there is barely anything to begin with. Among the Hadza, when a couple separates, the woman keeps the home and the children, and the man, with almost nothing to his name, simply leaves. Try doing that with a 30-year mortgage. And then humans did the single most expensive thing they have ever done. They settled down. They started farming. And the moment you have a field, a house, a barn, and a pile of grain, you can no longer just walk away. You cannot split a wheat field in half and carry your portion into the sunset. Suddenly, leaving a marriage means losing everything you have built, and marriage stops being a campfire arrangement and becomes a binding economic contract. This is the actual reason divorce got hard, not love, property. You can watch it happen in the written record. The oldest detailed divorce laws we have come from the Code of Hammurabi in ancient Babylon, carved into stone almost 3,800 years ago. And these laws are obsessed with one thing: money. Who keeps the dowry? Who returns the bride price? Who supports the children? One law said a husband could divorce his wife, but he had to return her dowry and hand over income from a field to support her and the kids until they grew up. Another said a wronged wife could leave and take her dowry with her. Read it, and it sounds shockingly modern, because it is the exact same fight you see in any divorce court today. The second humans owned things, divorce stopped being about whether you still loved someone and started being about who gets the house. We did not invent the messy, expensive, lawyer-driven divorce. We inherited it the day we planted the first seed. This video discusses anthropological and archaeological research for educational purposes. Modern hunter-gatherer observations are used as comparative models to understand ancient human behavior, not as definitive proof of how all ancient humans lived across different time periods and geographies. So here's the thing that should keep you up tonight. For almost the entire human story, leaving someone was the easiest thing in the world. You just stopped sleeping at the fire. The pain was real, the heartbreak was real, but the exit was clean. Everything that makes modern divorce a nightmare, the lawyers, the assets, the custody battles, the group chat that has to be told, none of it is ancient. None of it is human nature. We bolted all of that on in the last 10,000 years, the blink of an eye in our history, the moment we decided to own things and stay in one place. So go back to that bed, lying next to the person whose chewing you cannot stand. The restlessness you feel is older than language. The 4-year itch is real, and your great-great 10,000 times great-grandmother felt it too. The only difference between you and her is that when she felt it, she could just get up, walk to a different fire, and be free by morning. You have to call a lawyer. Turns out the ancient humans were not the primitive ones. We are the ones who made leaving so complicated we sometimes stayed just to avoid the paperwork. And honestly, she would find that hilarious.